Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I have a card featuring Newton's Nook stamps for the latest Newton's Nook Designs Inky Paws challenge. The challenge this time is to use a heart shape. When you enter the challenge, you'll be entered to possibly win a $10 gift certificate to the Newton's Nook shop. And I think this challenge is pretty simplistic and lets you have a lot of freedom, so I definitely encourage you to give it a shot. Pull out your Newton's Nook stamps, pick up one of the free digital stamps, and have fun. Today I'm going to be using some small stamps from a variety of different sets. In the end, I actually use only campfire tails and sweetheart tails. I thought about using the beach set as well, but I didn't actually need that flower in the end, and the style of the flower is slightly different as it's more of like a beach tropical flower. I want to create a heart shape to do all of my small stamping in. So I'm going to combine the little heart and the little flower and build a general large heart shape. So I take some typing paper, computer printer paper, and trace on a basic heart design using the old trick from elementary school where you fold it in half and then you cut it on the fold so that you will have a complete heart. And I'll actually be using the negative part as kind of a stencil for my design. Now if you had a heart die cut, you could very easily create yourself a stencil. You can use any material you want. I just use typing paper because it's nice and thin and I don't have to worry about there being any interference with the stamp blocks, for example. So once I have a template cut out, I'm going to adhere my cardstock panel onto my work surface so that it doesn't slip and slide, and neither does my stencil. So I'll tape that down with some painter's tape as well, just to make sure that everything is secure. This is kind of a delicate process in the sense that if you make a mistake, it's a very clean and simple card and it will be pretty noticeable. And I'm also going to be doing a lot of colored stamping, and so if you don't get a perfect stamping, you can try to align it up, and generally that does work. But you just want to really take your time with everything so that you don't make those little mistakes. You can see here that I had experimented with the card before. I originally stamped the bird in the red ink, and I didn't really like that. Instead decided that I would color the bird red. So I stamped it in some Copic-friendly ink. My favorite things, black licorice hybrid ink. To get started creating the heart shape, I decided to go around the border of the heart first. I'm taking the largest stamp, which is the flower, and stamping it throughout the border. I don't completely cover the edges with the flower stamp because I do want it to be kind of random and sporadic, but because it's the largest stamp, it kind of gives me a guide for where to put other elements of the card. I'm also only stamping this bird just one time. He's going to be a little bit of a focal image in this instance. I'm using the flower and this little leaf from Sweetheart Tales, but the bird is from Campfire Tales. And the heart is from Sweetheart Tales. After I fill in where I want the teal, and I'm using Hero Art Shadow inks for all of this, I start adding a few of the green leaves to fill out the border. Before I go any farther, I want to make sure that I'm going to get some of these red hearts in. And so I stop and stamp in some red hearts. I want to make sure that there's red, teal, and green equally represented throughout the card, and there is no one like line of a certain color, and that you can just basically randomize it as much as possible. And I find that the most effective way to do that is to stamp a few of one particular image, pause, fill in some gaps with the other images, then go back to the first image. So you see here I'm going back to the teal flower after I've added a few leaves and a few hearts. The hearts that I added are the only hearts I'm going to add because it is such a strong color and it's a solid stamp compared to the outline stamps of the others. So once I get in all the other teal flowers that I think will fit, I'm going to fill in all the extra space with the little tiny green leaf. At several points during this, I did not get a full impression, and that has nothing to do with the quality of the stamps or the quality of the ink, and everything to do with the fact that I am not really directly over my stamping, and so in order to film it, I have to be back a little bit, and it's a little harder for me to line things up. But if you take your time and use patience, you can get a really great look out of this. So I colored the bird with some simple Copic coloring. I didn't even use more than one color. I just laid it on darker in some areas. Now I'm ready to stamp the sentiment. And I'm definitely, again, being careful, taking my time. Usually when I stamp with a black sentiment, I don't worry so much because I know that I can just use a black pen to fill in the sentiment. But because I'm actually going to be stamping the sentiment in color, I don't have a pen that matches each color that I'm stamping with. And so I'm just going to make sure that I take my time and give nice even pressure, and I'm using the red and the teal there. To pull the teal in, I'm going to just use a matte of the teal color and then put it on a white card base. So that's it for my card today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can give this video a thumbs up. This is definitely a slightly different card for me, as they're doing the clean and simple and not a lot of embellishments. It's a very flat card, perfect for mailing, and I know some people are definitely into those kind of cards. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, including more from Newton's Nook, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm going to leave links to the products in the video description below, as well as a link to the blog post where you can find out more about this Newton's Nook Inky Paws challenge. Thanks for watching. Bye.